Well, well. Haven't done one of these in a long time, and so I thought I'll get on here and do a live and kind of see how it goes with the YouTube. I'd never really liked YouTube for live, and let's see how it works with the real-time correspondence. I do miss that about Facebook, uh, and so come on in and say hello and let me know where you're from. Um, I didn't put a subject matter up, but I do want to discuss several things regarding musicians, several things regarding bass players, uh, regarding your character, regarding your tone, all of those things. What's up? What's up? Um, what's happening? What's happening? From Alabama, what's going on? From Dallas, what's happening? C Black, Ernest Zach, what's happening? That's my buddy there. Um, yeah, I just want to have a discussion in regards to musicianship, life, everything. Um, this is not formal. I just decided to do it at the last minute. Um, excellence in you. What's going on? What's happening? Rayford. All right. Carolina. Good deal. I've been wanting to do like a podcast on this subject matter now for probably about, probably over a month. So I'm doing my own podcast. It's not the thing, but this is cool. At least I can see you guys respond. So I say hello to you guys. CB 3517. What's happening? From Cincinnati. Okay, good deal. So I'm telling you, I have not done a live in years, and certainly not on YouTube. And so I'm kind of see how this is gonna go. We got 8, 9 people on. Uh, oh, good deal. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is impromptu. Um, I just decided to do it. We'll let a few more people get on, and then we'll open up this discussion. And prayerfully, it'll bless you, give you a little insight, a little wisdom, and you can ask me questions about anything, actually. If I have the answer, I do. If I don't, I'll get back to you. Poppy Play, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, I may start doing a little bit more lives. I kind of miss it. Like I said, I haven't really done any YouTube lives. Most of the lives I've done in the past were on Facebook. But this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I'm not set up today for bass and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to have a general discussion on tone, and a few other things. Whatever comes up, comes out kind of thing. Thurman, what's happening? Greensboro. All right, man. I got a lot of Carolina buddies on here. Yes, sir. My boy from Tennessee. What's up? 777. Yeah, I know you well, man. Good to see you on here, man. Been a while. Appreciate you. All the prayers are welcome. Needed. Sick? No, I ain't sick. Not that I know of. But prayers are always welcome. They're always welcome. You guys thinking about me and thinking enough about me to pray, That's what I do, man. Anybody know me, I'm at the mountain probably 3 or 4 times out of the week, just covering people, man. Been intercessor, that whole thing. Because so many weird things are going on in this earth. And it ain't the earth, it's the crazy people that's left here. And so I'm always concerned and praying and that kind of thing. So this, like I said, this is impromptu. There's no special lighting, none of that. Not today. Uh, I saw that, man. I saw you grooving. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got 10. There's a few more people, and then we'll get started. I just don't want to go back and have to repeat myself. And so I try to give people enough time um, to get on. Um, so God bless you guys for allowing me to interrupt part of your day. Oklahoma. Okay, good deal. Killer Plumber, yes. Thurman Lee, what's happening? What's happening? Hope I haven't missed anybody. I'm gonna get started because I know your time is uh, valuable. So, um, first thing, and this is just something I want to put out there for some of the people that don't really think about it, uh, maybe have never thought about it. Take care of your instruments, man. I don't care what you have. You can have $100 bass. You can have a $2 million bass. I don't care what it is. I feel like if God has blessed you with whatever you have, it's your responsibility to take care of it. What I get a lot of times, you guys that don't know, I do a lot of repair work, upgrades, modifications, that kind of thing, restrings, all that kind of stuff, part replacements, all that kind of stuff. I don't do any fret related work anymore. Uh, that's just not my strength. But I look more electronic related repairs and mods and all that kind of stuff. So take care of your instruments, man, because and the reason I say that this weather has been brutal. Anybody know anything about wood? Oh my God, wood is very temperamental, and you'll have a day that's uh 25, 30 degrees, and the next day is 80. I mean, your base is paying the price for those conditions. You know what I'm saying? And some of you guys, and maybe not on here, you leave your instruments in the car. That is brutal. I mean, you're gonna have all kind of issues with your bass, your neck, the expansion, the compression that wood does. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems anyway because, I mean, wood moves. It does. It really does. I'll read that in a minute. And so I think a lot of issues that you have can be avoided if you just take care of your bass. Leaving it outside is not a cool thing for several reasons. It can get stolen for, uh, you know, uh, service reasons. Like unless you just like spending money, I would gladly accept working on your bass. But I just feel like a lot of times, a lot of the things can be avoided um, if you just take care of your bass. Change your strings regularly. Yeah, I know strings are high. Everybody don't have a string endorsement, and I get that. But they do offer some pretty good deals throughout the year. And I would say, man, when those deals pop up, because that's what I did for years. Man, when those deals pop up, man, maximize that opportunity. 20 and 30% doesn't sound like a lot, but it is if you buy a case of strings, and if a case of string can save you, hold you for a year or half a year or whatever it is. I mean, that's savings. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, I mean, find out what strings work best for your bass and get them. Put them up. And I know a lot of cats have more than one bass, so a box of string would be ate up. You know what I'm saying? I don't string up bass until I need it. And like I said, and I don't play like you guys do. I don't play every day or gig every week, that kind of thing. I do sessions, so most of the time when I can do with that bass, it goes back on the wall. You know what I'm saying? So I know you guys probably require more strings than I would, um, recording or playing or whatever. Uh, some more people that popped on. Yeah, wood shrinks and expands. Uh, and so, yeah, take care of your instrument, man. A lot of guys I see, they want God to bless them with you know, the next bass, but it's like, man, why would He bless you with something you're not even been fruitful and taking care of what He was already giving you? You know what I'm saying? And then I also know a lot of us already have too many. So why would you ask God? You got 10 bases, 12 bases, whatever. And God, I need one more base. Like, well, man, I can't even give it to you because you haven't made room for it. So sometimes we have to make room for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with cars. You got a garage, a 3-car garage, and it's full. And you say, God, I need another car. Well, where you gonna put it? You want me to give you a car and it's gonna sit outside for the rain and the weather to beat up and whoop up on, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes we have to make room. So when we want certain things, create the space. Create the space. I've done it. I've downsized. I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff uh, over the last 2 or 3 years. And anybody that know me, I'm not a hoarder, but I don't. Man, when I buy something, I keep it for like forever. I very seldom sell anything. And And so when I do sell it, people are surprised because it's not something do on a day to day basis. I got stuff I've had for 30 years, uh, and I'm planning on keeping it another 30 years, if the Lord, if the Lord's will. Um, that's for real. So take care of your instrument. Wipe your strings down. If you the person don't have a huge string budget, then take care of the strings you have. It just requires you wipe them off every once in a while. Even if you don't perspire, things are getting sucked into that metal. And so when you get through playing, wipe it off. When you get before you play, wipe it down. You know what I'm saying? Don't spray nothing on it because that's gonna mess up the strings. Just a clear, clean cloth. No, it doesn't need any type of spray or nothing like that. And when don't put no Windex on your bass or furniture polish. Don't do that. Not to painted surfaces that would mess it up. That would really mess it up, like for real. That's like clogging. Well, not clogging your pores because the painted surfaces are what you call that the surfaces that are treated. Uh, they're sealed for the most part, but everything doesn't work on every bass. So what else? Intonations. I learned this the hard way, and I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. This is when I first kind of started playing bass. I didn't know what I was doing, man. It was just something I had a love for, and I'm thinking I'm good. I'm ready. Went to the studio, plugged up my bass, ready for I knew the song. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go. Got the bass in tune, or what I consider in tune, and played the song down. The engineers looking, they talking, they discussing. I'm like, oh, okay, crap, something they don't like, or something they want me to redo. And so they were nice about it. I mean, they could have really got me bad. They go, man, yeah, we want you to play this bass. Some bass they had on the wall. I think it was a P bass. And y'all know that ain't my favorite thing. And I'm like, why? Well, yeah, your bass is kind of out of tune. I'm like, well, no, I tuned the bass. I got to tune it right here. Well, intonation. It was tuned up here and out of tune down there. And so I learned the hard way. But they were nice to me. They could have really damaged me, in their conversation. Let's see. How does one get in contact with you? Well, here's the deal, man. I don't really do if you're not within the DFW area. I don't really do outside of the state, and really not much outside of the city repairs because I've run into some issues with shipping. A lot of times things get damaged. Yeah, I put insurance on everything I ship out. But still, sometimes it get damaged. Oh man, I got your base back, and it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And so I just kind of stopped doing the out of town things. I usually do bases that either I can drive to or they can drive to me. And I'm not telling you to drive nowhere. I'm just saying, for all practical purposes, I don't really do outside repairs because of the issues. And I know some people, I don't mind shipping. I put, right now I'm not doing it. I'll just be honest with you. Maybe I will open it up another time. Do I believe in astrology? I do not. Not at and I have my convictions as to why I don't, but no, I'm not into astrology. I'm not into the signs and none of that kind of stuff. Uh, I was 2.5 I'm at 2.5 ish hour. Gotcha. Well, reach out to me. I won't give you my telephone number because that would be crazy. I've done it before and it didn't work well. But my email is Tobias, just like it sounds, Tobias, the number six, SIG, G as in Gary, at gmail.com. Hit me up on there and I can discuss how we can do that. Um, Roderick Thompson, you be willing to do that? Wow. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to plan it because I mean, if you're flying in, I would have to make sure I have it cleared to do it because it's going to probably take me more than one day to do it. I would imagine. So we can discuss that. Just reach my email should show up. I would imagine on my account, and just hit me up, and we can discuss how we can get it done. All right. Um, Next thing, um, and I want to say this: I'm not the guy that feels like you have to own a $2,000 bass to sound good, to be recognized, because you do not. And let me disclose that myth. You do not. But I would say this also: there are some benefits if those bills are built correctly. There are some benefits to a custom base versus a manufactured base. I have, like I said, my house is probably the oldest base. It is. It's the oldest base I have. I've had that base over 30 years, and very minimum thing I've had to do to it to keep it functional because it's a great build. Mike Tobias made incredible instruments at that time. He did, and the MTDs are not bad. They're not the same to me. They're not the same type of uh, teachers on. Let me just stop it right there. I've been on the fence with some of you guys. I got both of his bases, and the Tobias is totally different build than the MTDs, but they're both great bases. Of course, I've had the MTD less time than the Tobias. So, but there are some benefits to uh, bases that are not manufactured, and you will tell right off. Honestly, yeah, I mean, this is what they are. Do you have to spend $2,000 or $3,000 for one? Maybe not, because there are some used ones out there that are still in good shape. So I would just say go play some, man. You'll tell the benefits of it right off. Just the way it feels, you know. But you have to find out which one works for you. You know, every bass doesn't work for everybody. Um, and like I said, I even though I do play bass, I don't consider myself a bassist like that. And I've been playing bass now probably 30 something years. Yeah, longer than 30 years. And I guess because I don't do it for a living necessarily. I don't do it at church every week, even though sometimes I would love to. And so I don't have the experience a lot of you guys have in playing all the time. I don't get to do that. My main instrument is keys, and that's what I play all the time, every week. And I'm glad to be able to do it. I'm saying, but um, that's my experience is more on keys than it would ever be bass. Bass is not a hobby because I do make money doing it, but it's not a. I don't make a living doing it. If that makes any sense, I don't gig. Thought about it before, not the club stuff. I don't do the club stuff, and those that do it, it doesn't bother me. I choose not to do. But I have considered doing some gigs. I just right now don't have time to do it because I'm involved in records and all that kind of stuff. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, Roderick, just hit me up, man, for real. That can definitely be arranged. J Bass, what's happening? What's happening? Making sure I didn't miss anybody. So, man, glad you guys. I'm not gonna be here long. I'm gonna hop off. I've been on here for 19 minutes now. I just wanted to reach out to you guys. Like I said, I have not done a live on YouTube in many years. I just usually post, and so this is not bad. I mean, it's a little different than Facebook, but this is not bad. I kind of like it the way it is. So I may start doing some live mix typing things. I mean, maybe some live bass stuff. I'll be better prepared next time. I'll be set up, with mics and lights and all that kind of stuff next time. So appreciate you guys, like for real. Yeah, you can always reach out to me through my email. It should show up on here. It's Gmail or AT&T. It's the same prefix, AT&T or Gmail. I mostly answer the Gmail one though. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Um, Keep your bases tuned. Intonation is very important in regards to playing live or studio, but it will show up badly in the studio, as I mentioned before. I got showed up. Didn't even know anything about intonation. That the fact that the bass could get out of tune somewhere else down the neck. Did not know anything about that, but it happened. Add a question and answer sticker. Oh, this something just popped up. Okay. But yeah, I have music out for those that care. It's on all the distribution sites, most of the ones anyway. All your main ones: Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. It's either under my name, Stephen with a PH, Stephen Lewis. Some people say Stephen. I hate that, but it's Stephen Lewis, Lewis, or the Maestro, Damaestro. I have several different things out there, and I'm going to probably do something this year as well. I'm not sure it's going to be a holiday type of thing, or I don't know. I just got some things in my head, and so I'm going to work on something. Maybe like more like an EP, like a 2 or 3 song release. My thoughts on the Sadowski. Man, listen, that has become one of my favorite basses because just I think for me, and I told somebody else this before, the finger tone, and though it does have a great slap tone as well, but the finger tone is what sold me on that bass. I don't have a bass that sounds like that fingering, and that bass is less than 2 grand new. It's like 15, 18, something like that. I got a good deal on mine, so I don't know what they really cost, but they're not very expensive. The Metro Express is not. The Metro line is a little bit more. But I like the bass, man. I like what it does, fingering and slapping, and it does yield itself to the Smith, that burp type of thing. It does lend itself to that. Does it sound like a Smith? No, but it does lend itself because of the way what the spacing of the pickups. So it does lend itself to that. I just did a video today in regards to that, kind of how you can get those type of tones. Uh, Byron Hall, okay, yeah, we can definitely, man. Just like I said, reach out to me on my email. We can definitely schedule something and get you done. Like I said, for right now, I just refuse to ship. It's not the best thing right now, and especially I got a base damage being shipped. And let me tell you, that it's not fun when you ship your base out in pretty much perfect condition, and you get it back and there's blemishes. And yeah, so that doesn't set well with me. I hate shipping bases because they throw them; they don't care. And I know it's up to the shipper to package it correctly and you know protect the investment, but some don't. And so yeah, I don't yeah, yeah. Especially your I got bases I'll never be able to replace again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not shipping those nowhere. And so yeah, that's just a bad feeling to get your base, for it to leave one way and then come back a whole different way. I mean, yeah. So I don't know. I just right now I'm not doing it. Uh, how do you feel if a mid control was added to the Modern Five? It would definitely give you more control. That's for sure. Yeah. If you and the thing is, with adding a different type of preamp or mid control, is getting the right one that works with the pickups. A lot of cats don't understand how crucial that marriage has to be. The pickups and the preamp have to marry, or you have EQ point issues where this particular point of the EQ gets accentuated when it's not supposed to be accentuated. And so you have to find out and figure out what is the best match uh, for the pickups that you're using. If you're going to keep the stock pickups, which I think they're okay, they're not the best, but they're okay. They really are. I don't know how different created wise, and I've had a Metro line here, but I didn't have them here both at the same time, and so I don't know how much difference the build of the Indonesian. I think it's Indonesian that makes the other bass versus the US. I don't know what the difference is. I only upgraded the preamp. I didn't upgrade the pickups. And of course the preamp works well with their pickups. Could it sound better? Probably so. Probably so. I consider upgrading the pickups too, but for what I'm getting and what I like, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it right now. Yeah. Um, but it's an incredible bass, man. Like I said, less is more with with the preamp. A lot of cats, what they do is just start turning everything up. Man, that preamp is too hot for that. And so I would say find the best setting by, trial and error. Play it, turn it up to this, play it, until you find the sound that works best for you while you're playing live through your amp or even recording. So most of my decisions are based on recording. If I can get it to record good, man, playing it live ain't even an issue. Ain't an issue at all. And so yeah, but it's a great bass. It's definitely slept on. I slept on it for years. I've had a few over here, the USA's, and I didn't have enough time to spend with them to really figure out how the preamp really worked. And so I like, man, preamp is too hot for the pick. I told somebody this. I said, man, the preamp doesn't work well, but the bass is too hot for the pickup. It doesn't match, and it does. You just can't use it all. You cannot use it all. And so find the best setting for it to work for you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's ears are different. But if you look at the video I did today, I explain how that preamp really works. If you do want more mid out of the preamp, then you turn, how do you do it? You turn down the master tone and open up the treble. That introduces more mid if you want more mid. So you kind of can still kind of get the mid point thing kind of shifted based on how you set the tone and the treble. And if you want less of the mid, and then you open up the tone and then you adjust it out of the treble. It's a unique preamp. I must say it is. It's the VTC, a variable tone controller is what that pot is called. And so you can get that gnarly mid if you want it, and you can kind of taper it, uh, you know, between the tone and the treble. So mess around with that. You'll be surprised what you get out of it. Any other questions? Any recommended tuner? Meaning for tuning basses? I have. Oh man, what is it called? I have one. I can't remember what it's called, but it runs on rechargeable batteries. Man, I can't remember. Diodario? DiMarzio? Just look up USB-C rechargeable tuner, and it should pop up. I just can't remember the name. I'm not in that room. But it's a little square one. It's a little square. Look kind of like a lot of the ones that are out, but it's rechargeable. And that thing, I love it because I haven't had changed batteries in it. And I very rarely have to charge it up. So the but look up USB-C because it's USB-C port on it. And you just plug it up to charge it up and then you're good to go. Um, yes, sure. Temple, Texas. I got some friends down in Temple. Uh, Zach, I'm going to go back. I am going to start mixing live again. Of course, I have to get permission from the customer because some customers are cool with like, yeah, man, I want to see the whole thing. And some customers are like, no, I don't want nobody to know right now. So it will be on a client customer basis. But most of my customers, they've been really cool with that. And I don't put the whole song out there anyway. I just put enough out there to kind of show you the workflow. And so I'm going to probably do that for sure. Okay. Uh, I'm reading. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. I answered that question. Excellence in you. Yeah, that's true. Noble Sword. Um, I think I've answered everybody. Okay, I'm gonna hop off here. I've been here 30 minutes. I've taken up enough of your time, but I will. Probably this week, maybe later on this week, I'll get back on here formally with light and have my bass or keyboard, either one, set up, and we can talk through some things. I can demonstrate. All right. God bless you guys. You want to reach out to me, Tobias, the number six, letters SIG at gmail.com. All right. God bless you. I would say this, yeah, for sure. A lot of bases, the way they're making them now, sometimes a lot of people are doing upgrades and they're really doing downgrades because they don't understand how the bass works. They'll just buy something because their friends got like, well, man, my friend got this mighty preamp. I'm gonna put that in my bass. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, even if you have the same exact bass, because woods are all different. They really are, and you don't realize that until you play somebody else's bass, and then you play your bass. Like, well, man, why my bass don't sound like yours? I got the same preamp, I got the same strings. I went to the same guy to get it set up, and my bass don't sound like yours. Well, because several things. The tone of a bass comes from the player. It comes from the player. I know you. Like, no, it comes from the electronics. No, the electronics is what enhances what the player is doing. The sound of any bass comes from these. Marcus Miller can pick up any bass and still sound like Marcus Miller because the sound is in his hands. It's in his fingers. It's not in the preamp. It's not in the pickups. Those things enhance what's already been done. And so I know a lot of people don't understand that. So they'll go spend all this money on a preamp, $300 or $400. And let me say this, and this, you do what you grown, do what you want to do. I'm just giving you advice. It doesn't make sense to me to go spend a $250, $300 on a bass and spend $500 to upgrade it. Why would you do that? Especially now, you can go buy a bass for $800 and be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And so it doesn't make sense. And I know a lot of people do that. And like, again, a lot of times they're thinking they're upgrading and they're downgrading the bass. The stuff that came with the bass was actually better than what you bought. Because you can't just go buy a preamp, a pickup, and say, I want this in this bass and it's going to sound like this. That's just not how it works. There has to be a marriage between your playing style, the electronics, and that you're going to put in there. It has to be a marriage. And if it's not, you'll have illegitimate bass. Illegitimate bass. And so be careful with that. Ask questions. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, the worst thing you want to do is just go spend money. Now your bass is not even worth what it was when you bought it. So yeah, be careful with the upgrade. I see a lot of bad stuff. I've had pickups. I mean, I've had basses come over here. The pickups don't even fit the bass. You look at the pickups and you look at the strings, and the poles don't even line up. I'm like, man, your bass is cut in half. You ain't heard your bass. Look at your bass. Look at it. These are the wrong pickups. Yeah, that fit in the slot of the hole, but look at the alignment. The alignment is not right. The pickup span is not right. The pole pieces don't line up with it's just, I get all kind of stuff. And the person had never really paid attention to because they didn't know what to look for. They just say, man, it works. It sounds good. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You're not even getting the full benefit of your pickups or of your pre. It's not aligned. So be careful. That's what measurements are for. You have to measure that stuff. And make sure if you're doing a replacement, at least find out if it's a drop-in replacement so you don't have to do any modification. You don't have to open up cavities and open up pickup spaces for it to fit. Because there are a lot of drop-in replacements. You can literally do it yourself. Just you got to get the right part. And I see a lot of times that is wrong. I made a mistake and did one wrong. I ordered the wrong part. But the customer was fine. He said, well, man, it sounds good to me. I said, well, it's not. He said, well, I like it. Oh, okay, then I guess you're good. But it does happen. But you have to know what to look for and what to pay attention to. But those numbers mean a lot. When you're measuring, it means everything. So, C Black, thank you for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stay away from the Chinese stuff. Let me tell you, that stuff is junk. And I'm not saying all of it, but most of it is. I know you a lot of guys say, "Well, man, I'm a change. I love the black hardware. I'm gonna go get this black hardware. I'm gonna buy the tuners. I'm gonna buy the bridge. I'm gonna buy the saddle. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy this. And that stuff don't even hold tune because most of it don't. It looks good for about a year, maybe 2 years. Then it starts fading and paint start coming off, and it doesn't stay in tune. You don't lost all the sustain that you had because the bridge is not. It looks cool. It's eye candy, but a bass needs more than eye candy to function. And so your upgrade has just become a downgrade. Yeah, you didn't like the chrome, but the chrome did way more better things for your bass than this black does. And I love black hardware, but you got to buy the right stuff. You got to buy. You can't go buy. Man, I got a deal, man. I got 5 tuners for $60, and I got the man. I'm at $100. You're gonna be way more out of that. Trust me. When your pesos stay in tune, because it ain't. It ain't. I'm not an advocate on man. Go get hip shot. Go get this. Go tie. No, but they do make quality stuff. You will benefit from having that stuff. Is it expensive? Yes, it can be. And it really depends on if you're having to buy 4 tuners or 8 tuners or 6 tuners or 7 tuners. They make all these different bases now. So, but it can get expensive, but you'll have to buy it for the most part one time versus buying this stuff trial and error. I had a friend. I almost said the name of the bass. I'm not gonna do that, but he went through 3 or 4 tuners before he found a good one. And I kept telling him, I said, man, you do not want to fool with that stuff that's overseas because it's hit and miss. It's hit and miss. And he got tuners sitting at the house right now. He don't know what to do with because it just didn't work. It was pretty, looked good, lined up, everything. But when it come time to play, it did not keep the bass in tune. So they are irrelevant, right? If your bass not in the tune, then it's don't care. Who cares what it looked like? you know. So all right, God bless you guys. We're off. All right, we'll holler later. Now, how do you? I don't even know how to close this thing out. I've never done it on here. I know I'm still talking to you guys. How do I end this live? Um, I really don't know how to end this live. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Top fans. I see that. Okay, video. Oh, I should have checked this out earlier. I don't know how to end this. I guess hit the X. Yes. All right. Holla.